Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nasam Varora I'm sorry, it'll be Baroru Annatama Annatama. So this is a sandhi. Barar Vannatama. Baroru Annatama is Baror Vannatama. Bhubi Sprik Purim Imang Vira Varena Sakam Arhasi Alankartum Adabhra Karmana Lokam Param Shrir Eva Jaggapungsa Nasang Barorvannatama Bhuvisprik Purim Imang Viravarena Sakam Arhasalang Kartum Madabhra Karmana Lokang Param Shri Riva Jaggapungsa Nasang Barorvannatama Bhuvisprik Purim Imang Viravarena Sakam Arhasalankartum Madabhra Karmana Lokang Parang Shri Riva Jaggapungsa Nasang Barorvannatama Bhuvisprik Purim Imang Viravarena Sakam Arhasalankartum Madabhra Karmana Lokang Parang Shri Riva Jaggapungsa
Nasam Barorvannatama Bhuvisprik Viravarena Sakam Arhasalang Kartum Madabhra Karmana Lokam Param Shri Riva Jaggapungsa Nasam Barorvannatama Bhuvisprik Imang Viravarena Sakam Arhasalang Kartum Adabhra Karmana Lokam Param Pumsa
Lokam param Shriva Yajna Pumsa
Nasam varuram tama bhuvistri
Nasam varuram yama bhuvistri
Purim imam viravarena sakam
Purim imam viravarena sakam
Arhassalam kartumadabhra karmana
Arasyan karmana
Lokam param siriva yajna punsa
Lokam param Shriva Yajna Pumsa
Mataji's
Nasam varurvanna tamabu bispri
Nasam varuram yama bhuvistri
Purim imam viravarena sakam
Purim imam viravarena sakam
Arhasya kalam kartum adavya karmana Lokam param sriva yajna pumsa
Lokam param Shriva Yajna Pumsa
Na, not, Asam, of these, Varoru, O most fortunate one, Annatama, anyone, Bhubisprik, touching the ground, Purim, city, Imam, this, Viravarena, the great hero, Sakam, along with, Arhasi, you deserve, Alankartum, to decorate, Adabhra, glorious, Karmana, whose activities, Lokam, world, Param, transcendental, Shri, the goddess of fortune, Eva, like, Jaggapumsa, with the enjoyer of all Jaggas. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who, accompanied by Lord Vishnu, increases the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets, also increase the beauty of this city by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. Please repeat after me. O greatly fortunate one,
O greatly fortunate one,
it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who, accompanied by Lord Vishnu, increases the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets, also increase the beauty of this city by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. Looks like someone is standing outside. Daja ki bando ache naki? দেরি হলো কেন? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There is a difference between demoniac mentality and devotional mentality. Devotees know perfectly well that the goddess of fortune, who is a constant companion of Vishnu or Narayan, cannot be enjoyed by a living entity. This higher sense of understanding is called Krishna consciousness. Nonetheless, everyone wants to become happy by imitating the prosperity of Narayan. In this verse, Puranjana states that the girl appears to be an ordinary woman. However, since he is attracted by her, he requests that she become as happy as the goddess of fortune by associating with him. Thus he introduces himself as a great king with great influence, so that she might accept him as a husband and be as happy as the goddess of fortune. To desire to enjoy this material world as a subordinate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is godly. The demons, however, want to enjoy this material world without considering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the difference between a demon and a demigod. The word Bhubishprik mentioned in this verse is very significant. When the demigods sometimes come to this planet, they do not touch the ground. Puranjana could understand that this girl did not belong to the transcendental world or the higher planetary system because her feet were touching the ground. Since every woman in this world wants a husband to be very influential, rich and powerful, Puranjana, to seduce the girl, introduced himself as such a personality. In the material world, whether one be a man or a woman, one wants to enjoy. A man wants to enjoy a beautiful woman, and a woman wants to enjoy a powerful, opulent man. Every living entity who possesses such material desires is called Purusha, an enjoyer. Superficially, it appears that the woman is the enjoyed and the man is enjoyer, but internally everyone is an enjoyer. Consequently, everything in this material world is called Maya. O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who accompanied by Lord Vishnu increases the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets, also increase the beauty of this planet by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. So, the characteristics of King Puranjana, the Puranjana story is going on. It's actually beginning, so to say. Puranjana story is somewhat beginning. Puranjana, while traveling, the living entity traveling in the material nature has been awarded with a human form. And that also in Bharatvarsha, where he actually gets the good fortune of becoming Krishna conscious. Yesterday I discussed that the glory of the land of India or Bharatvarsha is that this is the land where Vedic culture is available, generally. Vedic culture was not available in other planets before, other parts of the world before. So much so that other ages they did not go out of India. The saintly people with Vedic wisdom, did not go out of India. They used to consider that ocean should not be crossed. But that was not so generous attitude. Although sadhus generally didn't go out of India those days, but Prabhupada decided to go out of India. That also leaving Vrindavan. And that also at the age of 70, 69. Prabhupada left India when he was 69 and he was 70 when he reached America. Prabhupada celebrated his birthday in the ocean, on the ocean, in the ship. So this is how we can see how generous Srila Prabhupada was. So he went and he distributed Krishna consciousness, and as a result of that, people are getting Krishna consciousness all over the world. Otherwise, they didn't have this good fortune. People outside of India did not have the good fortune, although many people have gone out. Many sadhus went out, but they did not, they are supposed to have spoken about Vedas, Vedic wisdom, but at least they didn't give Krishna consciousness, which is the ultimate achievement of the Vedic wisdom, ultimate perfection, ultimate goal of Vedic wisdom. During Prabhupada's time also, when Prabhupada was in America, there were so many sadhus, so many gurus, so many yogis was in America, but none of them spoke about pure devotional service. And as a result of that, we see they may have gathered a few followers, but did not really achieve very much. They may have gathered some followers, they may have made some money, but they did not benefit the people of that country, those countries. Still now people think that Vivekananda was the great spiritual personality who took the Vedic, or rather who conquered the West. That's what Ramakrishna Mission tries to portray. But what did Vivekananda achieve? How many Western followers Vivekananda had? He had one follower, Sister Nivedita. And that one follower became so famous. He brought one Mem Sahib to India. But Srila Prabhupada brought hundreds of white women, Mem Sahibs, and made them wear sari. You see the picture of Sister Nivedita, she is not wearing sari, she is still wearing gown. But all these devotees that Srila Prabhupada made, they are wearing saris. They adopted the Vedic culture completely. The men were wearing dhotis and kurta, and women were wearing saris. Even those days. So that is the gift of Srila Prabhupada. And not only Prabhupada made them wear saris and dhotis, not that Srila Prabhupada taught them how to eat with hands, not that Srila Prabhupada taught them how to cook with Indian spices and ghee, but Prabhupada made them into devotees of Krishna. They became transformed totally. They became devotees of Krishna. And still now, this movement is spreading so extensively all over the world. That is the real goal of Vedic culture. And this is how we can see what Srila Prabhupada has given to the world. And how Srila Prabhupada actually extended the glory of India. Like today, the real glory of India has been established in this way. The people are accepting the Vedic way of life. And Vedic way of life means devotional service to Krishna. Impersonalism is not the goal of life. Veda's goal is not impersonal. That's one stage. Impersonalism is one stage. Like in the early stage of education, they are taught something. Like BAT bat, CAT cat, MAT mat. But that BAT bat, CAT cat is not the goal of English language. The goal of English language is to read the books in this language. So impersonalism is just the initial stage of the spiritual understanding. Like, what is actually the basic concept of impersonalism? The basic concept of impersonalism is Brahma Jyoti. Jyoti. Jyoti means light. This is the world of darkness, that's the world of light. That is the first understanding. It's the world of light. Tamaso ma jyotir gamayo. Tamaso means darkness. From the world of darkness, you go into the world of light. But just world of light is not everything. It's a world. When you go there, it's a world of light, but in the light you see there are so many things, there are so many planets. Vaikuntha planets, Ajodha planet, Dwarka planet. And ultimately, topmost region is Vrindavan. So that's why those who are positively situated, like for example Narad Muni, 4 Kumaras, initially they were impersonalists, but then they became personalist. Like you go to the primary school and then you go to secondary school and high school and so forth. Gradually you make advancement. That is the positive way of approaching, positive way of moving. But Mayavadis, they are negative impersonalists. The difference between positive impersonalists of Brahmavadi and Mayavadi. Initially, one can be a Brahmavadi. Upanishad is actually speaking about Brahma, and apparently the students of Upanishads are apparently Brahmavadis. But the difference between a Brahmavadi and a Mayavadi is that a Mayavadi thinks that the form of the Lord is Maya. The form of the Lord is material. Therefore, they do not have any possibility of accepting the transcendental form of the Lord. The Lord's form is spiritual, but they have concluded that the Lord's form is material. Therefore, they don't have any possibility of understanding that the Lord's form is spiritual. Whereas the Brahmavadis, they know that this is Brahma, the spiritual life, spiritual world is Brahma Jyoti, light, the world of light, Brahman, and then they are open to understand further. So Shankaracharya came and established Mayavad, which has been very, very damaging. Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadhi. The Mayavadis are offenders to Krishna, therefore they are doomed. They don't have any hope. Whereas Brahmavadis are okay. Like Sukadeva Goswami was a Brahmavadi initially. 4 Kumaras were Brahmavadis initially. But then they could understand. I'm sorry, I mentioned Narad Muni, I actually meant Sukadeva Goswami, not Narad Muni. So Narad Muni was always a devotee from his previous life even. So the ultimate goal of spiritual understanding, ultimate goal of the Vedic wisdom is to understand the spiritual reality the way it is, with different levels of realization. First is Brahman realization. Then he comes to Vaikuntha. Then from Vaikuntha, then again, if you can go further, he goes to Ajodha. He goes to Dwarka. He goes to Mathura Mandal. And finally he goes to Golok Vrindavan. So human life is actually meant for achieving this goal. But when one gets a human form of life, Initially he wants to enjoy because the nature of everyone is to enjoy. Everybody wants to enjoy. So Vedas are giving that opportunity. Okay, you want to enjoy, enjoy. And in order to how to enjoy, one needs intelligence. That is like that question came up yesterday during the class, that in the previous verse in the purport, Srila Prabhupada identified Puranjana as intelligence. But later part in the chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam, it has been pointed out that Puranjana is a living entity and this woman is intelligence. Puranjana is a living entity. But why Prabhupada did that? Because it is with intelligence that he is deciding, I want this woman. So that is one aspect of a living entity. In order to accept the material intelligence, he has to have intelligence. So he is deciding. And he is wooing that woman, flirting. Oh, you are this, you are that. And he is comparing this lady, this. He thinks, when a living entity thinks that his intelligence is the most wonderful thing, and with that he is going to enjoy this material world. Now this is the allegory. So in the allegory, the example is given just to make a real point. Like Puranjana is not a king as such, but everybody feels like that, especially when he gets a human form of life. Especially when he gets an advanced human form of life. And the most advanced human form of life is the life in the holy land of India. So he is now considering, I want to enjoy. And now in order to enjoy, I need a woman. Similarly, a living entity, in order to enjoy, he needs his intelligence. The first covering in this material nature is the covering of ahankar, false ego. The second covering is the covering of intelligence. And the third covering is the covering of the mind. In this way, a living entity becomes entangled with these three subtle elements, becomes bound by these three subtle elements and develops a subtle body. The body consisting of false ego, intelligence and mind. And what is the objective? Basically, with the subtle body, what does the subtle body want? Subtle body wants to enjoy. And while he is trying to enjoy, he is committing sinful activities and he is committing pious activities. Pious activities and sinful activities. As a result of pious activities, he is enjoying. As a result of sinful activities, he is suffering. And as he develops his subtle body, accordingly he gets his gross body. Subtle body is our creation. Gross body is nature's gift. We are creating our subtle body with our karma. But the way the subtle body takes the shape, accordingly Mother Nature gives the gross body. On that we don't have any control. But we have the ability to control our subtle body. And that is why the Vedic instructions, how should one act? Punya karma and Vedas are describing how to act in a pious way, so that the subtle body will get an appropriate opportunity and facility to enjoy in this material nature, or even get out of this material nature. And what is the ultimate consideration? How can one get rid of the subtle body? We are bound in this material nature with the subtle body, but the question is, how can we get out of this bondage of the subtle body? And the instructions are there. Very clear instructions are there in Bhagavad Gita. Mind, what to do with the mind? Arjuna is asking, what shall I do with the mind? You are asking me to control the mind, but how can I control the mind? It's impossible. Bhayoriva sudushkaram. That is as difficult as controlling the wind. But Krishna is giving the instruction. Abhasena tu kaunteya. Vairagyena cha grijhate. Like these are two factors. Abhyas and vairagya. Abhyas and detachment to matter. Abhyas to be connected to spiritual, and vairagyena to detach from the material. And what is the process? Manmana bhava, madbhakta. What to do with the mind? Manmana bhava. Manmana bhava. With your mind, just think of me. Think of me. And in this way, when you are constantly thinking of me, teshang shatata yuktanam bhajatang pritipurvakam. When one is trying to serve Krishna, being engaged in this way, constantly, dadami buddhi yogam tam. Krishna is assuring, don't worry, I'll give you buddhi yoga. So this buddhi yoga will have two aspects. In one aspect of buddhi yoga, we will know how to utilize our intelligence properly, how to fix the mind in Krishna's thinking about Krishna. So, and the other is how to become engaged in devotional service. Buddhi yoga is actually bhakti yoga. Buddhi yoga is bhakti. So initially sadhan bhakti, we try on our part, we try to render devotional service following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, and then as a result of that, prema bhakti, loving devotion to Krishna. And now when one has become engaged in serving Krishna in this way, what happened to now? What happens to his false ego? Gone. Jiver sarup hai, Krishner nitya. So when one has become Krishna's eternal servant, the false ego, the mistaken identity that I am this body, I am the enjoyer of this material nature is gone. So at that time, iha jasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira. In this way, when one becomes engaged in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his karmana. Karmana is with body. Manasa, with mind. And gira with his words. Karmana manasa gira. Nikhilasapya avasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. In whichever condition he may be in, he is jivan mukta, he is liberated. Liberated while he is still in the material body, still in this material nature. He is apparently in the material nature, but he is liberated. So that is the goal of Vedic wisdom. The Vedas are taking us to the point, not artificially. Vedas are saying, do whatever you want. Fine, but follow the Vedas. You want to enjoy? Enjoy following the Vedas. You want to become liberated? Try to become liberated following the Vedas. So this is how you're on the track. And then, if you're on the track, then you'll come to the main point eventually. And what is the main point? The main point is pure devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the ultimate achievement that one receives by following the Vedic wisdom. Now, in other ages, that was the process. Gradually, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Bhakti. Eventually, finally. But now, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, direct Bhakti. Direct Bhakti. Like, don't have to go through any other process. And this is also a very interesting consideration. Why this special mercy? Like Prabhupada gives the example in this respect, that generally when you want to be a PhD, you have to finish your school, you have to finish your college, you have to go to the university, get the masters, and then you write your thesis, and then you become a PhD. It's a long process, gradual process. But sometimes the university awards the PhD to somebody directly. He becomes a doctor, not even going to the university. Not even finishing his school. There are some individuals like that. Didn't even finish his schools, but became such an outstanding personality that he got a PhD. Yeah, the university, big universities have awarded that. Like that's what happens sometimes when the big national leaders, like the president, goes to a big university, say Oxford University. The Oxford University awards him the doctorate, doctor such and such, awarded from. Like the other day I was reading, Narendra Modi first wanted to join Ramakrishna Mission. But they refused him because he was not a graduate. So, he's not a graduate, but look at him. Now when Narendra Modi will go to Oxford, maybe Oxford will award him PhD. And he is so exalted that 25,000 PhDs are working under him now. That's what we tell them also, tell people, that we don't have to be PhDs. I have so many PhDs working. Prabhupada used to also say that. I have so many PhDs as my disciples. So I'm the guru of PhDs. So generally, one has to struggle so much to become, to achieve devotion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded devotion directly. No consideration of qualification. In this respect, there is a very nice anecdote that one day Srimati Radharani, she was a little child, little girl. Mother Jashoda took Radharani to Vrindavan, Braj. And she showered her affection and steeped her with her love. So when Radharani went back to Varshana, King Vrishabhanu asked Radharani, Lali, kaisa laga Vrindavan? So she said, very, bahut acha, very nice. And she kept on describing how Mother Jashoda treated her, how Nanda Maharaj treated her, and she met so many friends there. And but then she said, Papa, one thing I didn't like. King Vrishabhanu became quite alert. What is there in Vrindavan that Lali didn't like? Vrindavan is perfect. What can be there in Vrindavan? So he asked, what was that, Lali, that you didn't like? She said, every morning, Nandalala used to distribute prasad. And there used to be a big queue, long queue. People used to come to take prasad from Nandalala. But Nandalala would give prasad to those who had the patra, who had a pot. But those who didn't have the pot, Nandalala sent them back. Go get a pot and then come back. And when they came back, they had to stand at the back of the line. And there were some who were so poor that they didn't have any patra. So they were deprived of Nandalala's prasad. So that is one thing I didn't like. Why Nandalala refused those who didn't have the patra? So King Vrishabhanu sent a message to Nanda Maharaj. See, Lali is speaking like that. What actually happened? So Nandalala called Krishna. Krishna, Lali complained that unless that you refused those who didn't have the patra. Then Krishna said, okay, since Lali wanted it, so I have to do something, but what to do? Here I cannot give prasad unless one has a patra. So anyway, now that Lali wanted, I will, in the mood of Lali, I will give prasad to those who didn't even have any patra. So who is that? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Patra means Yaggata. Krishna gives Krishna Prem only to those who are qualified. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing it to those who don't have any qualification. So that is the special prerogative, special advantage, special benefit of this age of Kali. Even though we don't have any patra, but Krishna is giving it, Radharani is giving it. Come, take Krishna Prasad. So that is the goal of life. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any question? Yes.
This last story you said was just so incredibly beautiful. I just raised a question in my mind that does that mean that this mood that Lord Chaitanya came with is actually, it's Radharani's doing rather than Krishna's own compassion?
Krishna became Radharani, isn't it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is it Krishna or Radharani? So Krishna became Radharani. He's Krishna, but he is acting like Radharani. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Like, Radha Bhavaduti Shubalitang Naumi Krishna Sarupam. Krishna with the complexion of Radharani and mood of Radharani. So mood of Radharani means as Srimati Radharani.
So Maharaj, what I actually wanted to understand was that, would this be the correct understanding? That it is Radharani's mercy, her compassion, because of which this has happened?
Yeah. When Krishna assumes the mood of Radharani, he acts like that. This also, there are two reasons for that. One is external, one is internal. Why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The external one is to give what he didn't give before. Anarpita charing chirat karunaya avatirna kalo. Samarpaitum unnato jala rasang sabhakti. Right? The Chaitanya Charitamrita is explaining that point. Jathishto bihari Krishna kore antardhan. Antardhan kori mone kore onuman. Chirokal nahi kori prema bhakti dan. Bhakti bina jagotir nahi avasthan. After performing his Braja Leela, Jathishtu Brihari abundantly, profusely performing his pastimes in Braja, Krishna withdrew his pastimes. Kare Antardhan, Krishna disappeared. And then he considered, Antardhan kori mone kare anuman. He considered after that, this Braja Prem I don't give all the time. But without this love, there is no meaning of this creation, of this material world. The purpose of the material world is to achieve that love. Therefore, he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the internal reason is, Krishna wanted to know what is the glory of Radharani's love. What is there in him that attracts Radharani so much? He himself wondered, what is there in me that is attracting her? And he wanted to know, by loving him, what kind of joy does she experience? So in order to understand these three things, he appeared from the womb of Mother Sachi, just as the moon appeared from the milk ocean. Yes?
Thank you very much for this wonderful class. Actually, I had a question in yesterday's class.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
This regarding relationship between the devotees. Because yesterday you described about how the devotees, after some time or some sannyasi, they leave the movement. I mean, they might change the ashram. Sometimes what happens when we are discussing with some new devotees, new converts, sometimes they go to the internet and read a lot of other information. They come with such questions. So when we describe them, so there is a question in the back of the mind that they might be committing some offense against those devotees, because anyway they were the Vaishnavas, they are the Vaishnavas. So there is always a question in the mind that we are committing some offense against them. And so shall we always avoid such kind of talks, or like how to deal with such kind of questions?
Good, very good point. These topics have to be dealt with cautiously. But at the same time, devotees shouldn't be kept, even though they may be new devotees, they shouldn't be kept in darkness. Like, it's better that they hear from us and understand the topic than go to the internet and get to see what, some nonsense individual is saying. Ultimately, even if someone has fallen down, it doesn't matter. But devotional service is so powerful that it remains with him. Like, I'll tell you the example. I'll give you an example. One devotee, he was a sannyasi. After Prabhupada's disappearance, he left ISKCON and, completely left. Completely got lost. So much so that he got AIDS. Out of what kind of lifestyle one gets AIDS? So he got AIDS. And he was dying. So he was living with a girl, living with a woman at that time. Anyway, so he died. So this woman, she didn't know ISKCON or what ISKCON was, even didn't know what Prabhupada was, who Prabhupada was. So one day she met some devotee and she asked, "Can you tell me who is Prabhupada?" Or she may even asked, "What is Prabhupada?" She was so much in ignorance. And then this person asked, "Why asking? Why do you want to know?" So she told about her boyfriend. At the time of dying, he practically sat up and said, Prabhupada, you came. And he left his body. So see, this is how Prabhupada is going to take care of the devotees who had committed themselves to him. But at the same time, like what they have gone through, there is no harm in discussing with a proper understanding. Well, it happened, so what? Like ultimate consideration is the ultimate end. What we go through life is not important. How we face our death, that's what is important. So that's why, like this is our consideration also, that we are dealing with mature individuals, grown-up individuals. So, like say for example, the father may not discuss about intricate things of the family with the child. But when the child grows up, then he takes him into confidence and consults with him. So that's how we have to look at things. We have gone through various difficulties. So there is, like posterity needs to know. Yes, go ahead.
Maharaj, here the question comes that how one deviates, is it due to the enjoyment mentality? It's still carrying emotion.
Deviation, can happen in various ways because Maya is strong. Maya can always allure anybody practically. So, but the thing is, it is said that the fall down after becoming a devotee is generally due to offenses. Because once you take shelter of Krishna, Krishna gives you protection. But Krishna fails to give protection when there is offense to the Vaishnavas. Like Durvasha Muni. He went all the way to Narayan, Vaikuntha. He said, look, I can't do anything. He committed offense to Ambarish Maharaj. So in that case, Krishna remains helpless. Yes, what's your question?
Probably I want to openly discuss that, but there are certain restrictions. Your precious words are so touching that it touches mind and heart in equal proportion. I've learned a lot from you, and I want to tell you that during my graduation, I was bedridden for 1 year. I could not pick up my legs even. I could not walk. There were certain reasons because I went through this. The reasons according to my family, my friends who used to bypass me and used to mistreat me. I went out of my control. I was taking medicines and still now I'm taking medicines. I cannot fully concentrate on what I'm doing. Can you please tell me what to do? I want to read Bhagavad Gita, but
While you are coming to the temple, what did you learn? What to do? Chant Hare Krishna. Just do that. Okay, that's the only thing that you have to do. Just do that. And you're a vegetarian?
I'm a
Pure vegetarian. Very good. So, chant Hare Krishna and come to the temple, associate with devotees, make friends with the devotees. Everything will be alright. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yeah, there are some questions. Okay, Richa from Ujjain. Richa, are you in Ujjain? Then why aren't you not in class? Huh?
I'm
No. No, she's another girl or?
No, she's from Kuwait only.
Yeah.
So in online her name is registered.
Oh, okay, okay. I was wondering. I knew I was joking. Actually. So, yeah. Hare Krishna, nice to hear from you, Richa. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Recently, I met a friend who was with you on a flight from London. He mentioned about the future idea of projecting ISKCON as an educational institute. Also, he told there are 5 points. This is so wonderful. Can you put more light on it? Okay, this is from Rupa Gauradas. Thank you, Rupa Gaura. Who is that friend of yours? Is that Prashant? Prashant Goswami? Maybe you can make it more clearly, like what I discussed with him, so that it will be easier. Because as you said, he told there are 5 points. You have to refresh my memory about that. If possible, just give me those 5 points or the background so that I can explain it. Thank you. Tribhanga Mohan Das, also from Ujjain. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Pam Ho. Being a devotee, we may not grossly try to enjoy Lord's resources, energies, but there is a tendency to procrastinate, postpone in rendering sevas. So how to overcome such tendencies? There is a tendency to procrastinate. Here, see, that is one of the disqualifications that people have in the age of Kali. They're lazy. Procrastination is due to laziness. So, therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Wake up, wake up. Don't be lazy, become active and become engaged in serving Krishna. When the opportunity comes to serve Krishna, don't procrastinate. Just do it, considering that that is the greatest opportunity that you have received. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
क्वेश्चन नहीं है, मैं सिर्फ निवेदन करना चाहता था कि आपके मुखारबिन से श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवे दया करी, ये एक बार आपसे सुनने को मिले, मैं रिकॉर्डिंग करना चाहता हूँ.
अच्छा, ठीक है. शाम को गाएंगे, ठीक है? Yes.
I had just one little question from the purple. I just need to get it out in my Srimad. Sorry. Somewhere in the Prabhupada is saying that, please forgive me, I just want to quickly get it out. Prabhupada made this point that to desire to enjoy this material world as a subordinate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is godly.
Yeah.
Desire to enjoy. Maharaj, could you please throw some more light on this?
Like I think yesterday and day before yesterday, both days I actually mentioned that Sura and Asura, those who accept Krishna's arrangement, they are Suras or demigods. Those who defy Krishna's arrangement, they are the demons, Asuras. So everyone is trying to enjoy this material nature, but when you try to enjoy accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all these for enjoyment are simply due to His causeless mercy, and remain grateful to Him, that is divine. Right? So there is no harm in enjoying, but accept it with due proper gratitude to Krishna. Oh Krishna, you're so kind. So devotees are not deprived of anything. Like with devotion, the wonderful thing about devotional service is devotees enjoy while in this world, and devotees enjoy when they go back to Godhead. An example is, say, the US government sent an ambassador in some other country. When that ambassador goes to the other country, does he suffer? He gets the best of treatment, right, as an ambassador, although he is away from home, because he is serving the government. And when he comes back home, then naturally he enjoys more. Another example is, in the prison house is meant for the prisoners, right? But those who are serving the king, are they prisoners in the prison house? The king's appointed employees, are they imprisoned there, although they are in the prison house? So that is what happens to the devotees of the Lord. Because they are serving the Lord, because they have become the agents of the Lord, even though they are in the prison house of this material nature, they are not bound, they are not imprisoned, they are not suffering, they enjoy. Okay? Rohini Nandan Das, New Orleans. Hare Krishna Maharaj, it was so nice. First time you told about Srila Prabhupada taking the disciple at the time of death. You are mentioning about Putra and who is not Patra and who is not Patra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down and gave love to everyone. But Mahaprabhu gave love to only to Bharatvarsha people. I was wondering what is the position of Srila Prabhupada, who gave love to everyone on this earth. Please. Yes, Rohini Nandan, what is there to say? You have said it already. You see, it is a natural characteristic of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that He tries to glorify His devotee even more. Just like the Father, He does something very wonderful, but He wants His Son to even excel Him. And when He facilitates the Son, beta jao jaake America mein branch kholo. I'll supply all the money. And you go and expand the business. And not only in America, the Son actually spreads it all over the world, the company's business. So that's what Srila Prabhupada did. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the business with Nityananda Prabhu, a joint venture in India. The company was doing very well, but then the company went suffering a lot. The business almost dwindled to nothing. Then came Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He revived the business. Then came Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, established the business in India. And then came Srila Prabhupada. Took the business to America, and then from America all over the world. So that is what Srila Prabhupada's position is. Thank you, Rohini Nandan. Yes.
In Siddhanta it is described with three danda. And when Siddhanta Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, then Nityananda Prabhu is broken into three parts. And there it is also mentioned one danda, Jeev danda.
Huh?
Jeev danda is another.
Deep Dando.
Jeev danda. Jeev.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know about it.
Yeah, apparently Mahaprabhu took Ekadanda Sannyas. Mahaprabhu didn't take three Danda Sannyas. But Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, no, Mahaprabhu took three Danda Sannyas by breaking the Danda in three parts. Actually 4 parts. Three Danda Sannyas has 4 sticks, not 3 sticks. To prove that what the sannyas that Mahaprabhu took was Vaishnav sannyas, not Mayavadi sannyas. And Jeev Danda means the living entities of material nature are suffering. Danda means suffering, punishment. The jivas are...
Choose the guru himself from whom he wants to take initiation, or would the preacher, his counselor, would do that?
No, one should decide his guru himself. About the guru selection, in ISKCON we have GBC has a resolution that there should not be any canvassing and there should not be any pressure or coercing. It's left completely up to the individual to decide who he wants to select as his guru.
There is a condition, next question, that what about the temple in which only one guru is visiting, but there are disciples of different gurus? What should the counselor do?
Well, it is one family. In the family there may be so many cousins. Does the family have to have... okay, father makes the family, the head. But then is it desirable that with the different brothers, the family splits, breaks down? It's happening in the age of Kali. Especially when the brothers get married, they move out of the house. Right? But is it desirable? At least in the context of ISKCON, no. It's not desirable. Therefore, it is very important that we recognize the head of the family, Srila Prabhupada. And with Prabhupada in the center, we become related to each other. Uresh Singhvi, we'll pray to Lord Krishna for your spiritual advancement under the guidance and blessings of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. Annalakshmi Mataji, wish you all the best progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. It's not a question, it's a comment, somebody. Any other question? Okay, last question.
I have a question from previous customer. I was having a little bit confusion of pronouncing Ram and Rama.
Pronouncing?
Rama and Rama on that day, on one of the classes said difference between that.
Generally the word is Rama, but then it is sometimes Ram. Like in addressing, it is sometimes pronounced as Ram. Ram. Either way, it's all right. You see, like there is no hard and fast. Like sometimes we are singing, it is sometimes said Rama. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Oh, another question. Vishwarup Ahmedabad. Thank you very much. I am seeking your blessings today, as today I completed 23 years. My question is there chanting can be in mode of passion? Okay, thank you for your 32nd years. So thank you for completing your 32nd years and happy entrance to 33rd years. And we all wish you a very happy birthday. My question is there chanting can be in the mode of passion? Yes, if one is in the mode of passion, his chanting can be in the mode of passion. Like, for example, one may be chanting the holy name, but he is chanting with a desire to enjoy the material nature. That will be the chanting in the mode of passion. But ultimately, the chanting should transcend the modes. Pure chanting is transcending the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur.